Yeah, we are back again, and it is our daily program yesterday at the World Cup on Nigeria Super Fans Forum. Welcome wherever you are joining us from around the world. We thank you for your support, particularly since the commencement of the 2022 FIFA World Cup. Welcome, my name is Olafemi Ashaolu, and I have James Agberebi and Kayode Ogundare joining via video. Guys, you're welcome to our daily program.
Thank you, Femi. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks, Femi.
Okay, so guys, there is no other better place to start than to talk about a defeat achieved by Senegal yesterday. A lot of people, including myself, didn't give the Teranga Lions any chance going to that game because I looked at the game between Ecuador and the Netherlands, and I thought that it would be difficult for Senegal to get a victory, and they did it. So even without Sadio Mane, of course, the Lions are roaring in Qatar. And the Coyote, let's get talking about that. I didn't see that coming. I saw your post on Facebook when it was still 1-0 to Senegal, and when Ecuador equalized, I said, wow, I hope. And until when Koulibaly from nowhere scored that beautiful goal to put the Teranga Lions through. What do you think Aliou Cisse did right in that game, Coyote?
I think what he did right for me, something that will strike you, the first thing you would notice if you've seen these Lions play for 10 minutes is that they have a plan and they stick to it. When they were leading, when they conceded, and when they went right back to score the winning goal through Koulibaly, they never fell apart. Where they had a plan, they had the plan, they stuck to that plan. It yielded them a goal, and I'm sure you are much more convinced about Ismail Assar now, Femi, because I knew you doubted his abilities before. I'm sure on the basis of what he did yesterday against Ecuador, now you know that it might not be Sadio Mane, but he's getting into his own now. You will see that he wasn't scared to lead the line for Senegal.
Mm-hmm.
And the team, the leaders in the team, Femi, they all came to the party. They all did what is required of them. When they considered the goal, they went right back to score again. That is mentality, Femi. That is tactical discipline. That is focus. That is organization. Those are the things we've talked about, Femi. We are beginning to sound like a broken record. These are the things we keep talking about every time. That once you have this, Femi, more than half of your job is already done. If you are focused, tactically disciplined, and you have game management, Femi, some people don't understand the concept of game management. What you do is you have a plan, you stick to it, whether you are winning or you are losing, stick to your plan. And when I say stick to your plan, it doesn't mean when something is not working that you should still keep doing it. What I mean is you keep a tight ship. You don't allow anything, whether because you score a goal, you now forget what you did that fetched you the goal. That's not what I heard. You understand? So whatever it is you are doing right, you should keep at it. Don't because we have scored a goal now. Okay, let's begin to freestyle. Let's do this. Let me show how much I can dribble. No, and then you need one thing that these Senegalese have shown. You need leaders on the pitch, Femi. In this Senegalese team, there are more than one leaders. Koulibaly stands out. I remember this guy's name. He plays in the middle for them. He stands out. Then you see the guy that probably took Sadio Mane's place, the number 17. There's this fair-skinned guy. I will remember his name shortly now, Femi. I think he was the number 17. He has struck me fair-skinned like this. He struck me as somebody with enough firepower that he hasn't scored, but what he brings to the team, Femi, it's all these little things that add up together to make a team. And to say I have been very, very impressed with the Senegalese is an understatement. Femi, they have brought joy, nothing but joy to Africa, and it shows the other African teams believe. It shows that we believe if Ghana keeps their shape together, they can get to the next round. If Morocco keeps their shape together, they can get to the next round. For me, it will be a thing of joy if we have more than 50% of the teams representing Africa in the second round. Of course, I know it's still little crumbs that we are celebrating getting into the second round but Femi, you know what? all wins, whether big or little, you have to celebrate them because you never know when next you're going to be in such a position. And about the round of 16 games, I don't want to talk about it now, but for me, there will be surprises. Let me just leave it at that.
I know what's on your mind. You're thinking Senegal will
I am
knock
not
out
thinking
England.
anything, Femi. Don't get ahead of yourself. I'm not thinking anything. I'm just telling you that there will be surprises. That's what I will say for now.
Okay, I'm helping you now. Okay, James, let's get talking. This is about the first time that African teams will be going to the World Cup with indigenous coaches, and this Aliou Cisse, I think it's been underrated because if it were a foreign coach who achieved this feat for Senegal, I think by now his name will be all over the place. But Aliou Cisse has shown that he actually knows. Remember, he took charge of the team. He started building the team, and until he led them to the AFCON Championship this year. And when they lost to the Netherlands, we knew that they had their jobs cut out, and back-to-back victory for them. They're in the quarterfinals. I think Aliou Cisse is being underrated, in my opinion.
Well, for me, at least it has nothing to prove to anybody. Whoever want to keep on doubting him should continue. This is somebody who has gone about doing his job. You remember when he lost the AFCON final in 2019, he still came back, roaring back, and make sure that they won it. And they still went on to qualify for the World Cup. Now they are in the round of 16. So he should just continue doing his job. I think he's somebody who learns from his mistakes. The mistake he did in the 2019 AFCON final, he came back to win it. The game against the Netherlands, when they lost, so that the way they've reacted, I believe that they've learned a lot of lessons from that game, which they are taking into these subsequent games. I saw the game against Ecuador. When they now eventually took the lead through Koulibaly, look at the time he scored in the 70th minute. The typical African team, 9 minutes, that was when we normally lose concentration, but they held out. They were able to manage the game. I was scared that they might end up conceding, but they held out. They made sure that they saw out the game, which goes to show that they learned from their past mistakes. So it's a very good one for them. Good one for Aliou Cisse. It's showing now that African coaches has what it takes to compete with the best. We also saw what the Moroccan coach did against Belgium, the almighty Belgium, that the team that was taught at the last World Cup that was number one in FIFA ranking for so many a long time. An African coach outsmarted them. So it goes to show that we have it here. Just proper management. Just put the basic things, do the basic things. They have what it takes to compete with the best, So Aliou Cisse has gone on to show that. So I was very happy when they won against Ecuador, because at 1-1, then some teams will just crumble under pressure, but immediately they hit back. Just 2 minutes separate Koulibaly's goal to the goal. Caicedo scored for Ecuador. Just 2 minutes. It just shows you that mentality that they know that they have to win this game, and they went for it and they won it. That was what a very good team does, and they're even playing it so well without their talisman, Sadio Mane. It goes to show that the team is beginning to put that behind them. They know that they have a big job to do. The African champions, all eyes are on them, and they are living up to the billing. Going to this round of 16 game against England, I know no African team has ever defeated England, whether at competitive or friendly level. No African team have ever done that. Maybe this is the time that
you're already speaking for Kalidou now.
No African team has ever done that. So they have that record, and I believe with this English team that I've seen, I'm not too impressed. You see them playing like world class when they come up against average teams, but when they come against teams, we see how they struggle. We see how they struggle against USA. Just as the Americans, they don't have a finisher against Wales and against Iran. They were just banging in goals, and the typical English mentality that they are one of the favorites now. So I believe Senegal, with what we've seen, they are a team that is growing into the competition. If they can keep up this momentum, I'm telling you, they're going to take up. Honestly.
Okay.
Talking about Cisse, some people have forgotten that what James said just struck me now, that after he came short at the 2019 AFCON, the very next AFCON, he went ahead and won it. Some people forgot that at the last World Cup, Senegal were eliminated on technical grounds, not because they lost. They were eliminated because they were tied with Japan. They were eliminated because they had more yellow cards than Japan, not because they were beaten. So that shows that this guy has just taken it a step higher than what he did in Russia 2018. He did not lose in Russia. It was just Senegal were eliminated because they had more yellow cards than Japan. When every other team, they were tied with Japan on the for second spot. So that shows, like James said, somebody who is constantly trying to improve on yesterday's results. And for me, it is a plus for African coaches.
Okay, let's talk about Iran USA. Kayode, before that game, you said it was going to be a big diplomatic war. Of course, that will be taken from politics now to the pitch. And of course, the USA did the job. It's going to be a broad game, because before that game, even Iran called for the expulsion of the USA from the tournament, which we knew it was not going to be possible. But we knew that between these two sides, there's always been friction every now and then. And of course, we always see traces of that on the pitch. But yesterday, again, the Americans had the last laugh.
Yeah, Femi, I think I've been impressed with these Americans. They are, I'm going to say something that might sound controversial. They are short on talent, individual talent, but as a team, they are very good going forward. Although it shows, their naivety shows in front of goal, because for all their effort and industry, they should be scoring more goals than they actually are. At the point, I was scared for them, because I saw this yesterday. I saw the same thing that happened in the first game against Wales. They utterly dominated Wales the same way they did yesterday against Iran, but they were just on a single goal until Wales got that last minute penalty. Yesterday, the same thing almost happened when that late call was when Iran were agitating for that late call. And I thought, oh God, here we go again. These guys don't deserve to go out. They do not deserve to go out. For me, it's going to hurt them going forward, Femi, because when you play a team that can score goals and you are not, no matter how much you run them around, like James always say, the name of the game is goals. If you do not score goals, nobody will remember who was the better team yesterday. The better team will always be the team that scores more goals. So, and as it is now, they've scored only 2 in 3 games. I don't see them suddenly out of nowhere getting more goals. We don't know the situation with Pulisic, Christian Pulisic now, because he was badly injured in that goal attempt. It took one for the team, Femi, actually. But I hope they are able to fashion out a tactic that limits the scoring ability of their opponents too. If we are not going to score, then you shouldn't be scoring us. If they are not able to do that, then they could be in trouble, especially now that they are going to play the free scoring Dutch team. The Dutch, they've scored 5 goals so far. They are capable of scoring as many as possible. But what I would say is the Dutch will not know what to eat them, because these Americans, they are organized, they are full of running, they are full of industry. I've been impressed with their number 2, Dest. That boy,
Barcelona player,
full of energy. He runs like he has an extra tank in his tummy somewhere. And the captain too. He's actually the youngest captain in their history, and he is showing why they entrust him with such a responsibility. All over the field, they have players like that you could actually point out as you know what, this guy is got a lot of potential. So for me, I hope that works for them, because this is the knockout round for me. If you make any mistakes, you are going home.
Okay. All right, guys. I think what I'll do after this show is I'm going to report both of you to the English FA, because Kayode is a United fan, James is a Liverpool fan, but you guys are already plotting the exit of England from the World Cup. Okay, let's talk about England.
I've not said anything to indicate I'm planning their exit. I've just told you that the World Cup is just about to start. I said the World Cup is just about to start. That's what I said, and I mean it. So when we have all of our
I have social media evidence. I have social media posts as evidence against you, Kayode. I saw what you say, you're already praying for the exit of a particular country. Okay, guys, let's talk about England's 3-0 victory over Wales. You know, we knew this kind of game there was going to be a really, really big rivalry, because of course the relationship between England and Wales, and of course it ended in favor of the Three Lions without a surprise, but not
Well,
a surprising.
without sounding negative, I also agree with you that the English have not impressed. But then I would also say probably that's because of the kind of opposition that they've met so far. Because for me, the only team that's really, really stretched them a bit was the USA team. They against Iran, they had a free day. They scored 7 against Wales. They scored 3. It was only against the USA that they couldn't score a goal. So that shows two things for me. If you are pessimistic about their chances, you will say, "Oh, we said it; they are not good enough." But if you are the optimist, a Three Lions fan, you will say, "You know what? We only play what is put in front of us." Now that the competition is about to start for everybody, they are going to get a taste, a dose of the African mightiness, African lions. Now we'll see how they stand out. Do I think they can win against Senegal? Yes. But Femi, the only reason why I think they are capable of winning is because of the details, the attention to the details that they have. That's the difference between the African team so far and the so-called European powers. I see that there are pockets of details that we normally overlook that they don't. When we do a preview of that game, Femi, I'm going to talk more about the attention to details that I'm talking about. But for now, let's just say nothing is given yet about who is going to win that game. Nothing yet.
Okay, Abkade, Tunisia. I think the Tunisia and Morocco are particularly surprised me in this game, because by this time, I thought both of them would maybe just be, let's just fulfill our righteousness, play our last group game and go home. But they're still hanging on, and they'll be playing France today. I'm talking about the Cottage Eagles now, and Senegal has actually led the African teams. Forget about what we think the other teams are doing. Senegal, I think they have led by example, and they've not really disappointed. Do you think Tunisia can follow that suit, as in do what Senegal is actually doing?
To be candid, for me, if I were just to talk because I'm an African, I would say, yeah, they can be. I think Tunisia actually lost the opportunity by not winning against Australia. That was the low-hanging fruit for them that they could have won, and the rest is easy now that they would have accumulated 4 points going into this game. Against France, they do not have a prayer. I'm being very, very frank with you. Yeah, they don't, because even if they win, which takes them to 4 points, you look at the Australians and you ask yourself, what is the hope? Because whether you like it or not, with 6 points, France is already guaranteed. Nothing need to stop France. So that means the likelihood of Tunisia going ahead with them is very, very slim. You expect one of the other two teams, Denmark and what do you call them, Australia, to pick one of the two remaining slots. So for me, I think they shot themselves in the foot by not winning the game against Australia, which was perfectly within their ability to win. That is the difference, like some of the difference I'm talking about between these small teams and the big teams. See, whatever happens, even if they go ahead to beat France, it will still not take away the fact that they are walking a very thin line. So even if they win now, it is out of their hands. They are going to be waiting for a miracle,
the result of the Poland
team to do them a favor. These things, we should be over some of these things. Make your own luck, Femi. Yesterday, it was down to Senegal. They knew what they had to do. You know what? If we are going to qualify, we have to beat Ecuador, which was what they did. Make your own luck. That is where Morocco have placed themselves now. That we know what, if we are going to go through, we have to at least have a draw from this game or win. That's what Ghana have done. We know that if we are going to go through, we need a draw. And when you make your own luck, you don't depend on any other person doing you favors. That's what I think.
Yeah.
And I think James is back too.
Okay. Hello, James.
Yeah, I can hear you. Sorry for that short interruption.
So we lost you temporarily, but we're about rounding up now. Can you just say something about if there's any chance of Tunisia getting a result against France? Because Kalidou has perfectly said it, and I totally agree that it will be difficult for the Carthage Eagles to get anything in that game. But Are you still holding any belief for them?
No, I'm not. No. You know, Tunisia is one team who I'm not always optimistic when it comes to the World Cup. You know, yeah, like I always tell you, what they do is they come play 3 games, lose to draw 1, and they're back home. And be rest assured that the next because you know they always have this luck of qualifying for the World Cup, but the tournament proper, they just don't do anything. You know, and they've not scored any good. They are not the kind of they don't create enough chances. They might dominate the game, but at the end of the day, they don't create enough chances. Not to talk of even scoring at least one. They've not scored a goal. Even Qatar, that's even the host, that's not in terms of football culture. You cannot compare them with Tunisia. At least they have a goal. They've scored a goal. But Tunisia, after 2 games, they are still looking for their first goal. Is it France that they're going to get their goal from? Against France, fine, they've qualified, but you know the coach want to try out certain players, and such players will want to perform so that they will stand the chance of getting into the team. You know, in the knockout stage. So I mean, they have a lot of things going for them, and they are looking at so many. You know, so like I said, Tunisia for me, they are out already. Just being realistic from me.
Okay, so James, you are pulling no punches on Tunisia. Okay, well, we wish the Carthage Eagles all the best today in their last group game against France. We've seen the extraordinary happen before in football, so maybe this could be one of them. Maybe Australia and Denmark can also play a result that will favor them, because we are hoping that at least as many as African representatives can qualify for the next round at the tournament. Now that Senegal has been the first, we hope that Tunisia will be the second. But like I already said,
sorry, Femi, to both in, even if Australia, no matter what, if Australia have 3 points already. If the worst that can happen is that they're going to draw the game. If they do draw the game, Australia will technically be ahead of Tunisia on head-to-head goals. So, like James said, they should just park their luggage on their way to the stadium, play the game, and from there go to the airport and start going back home. That's what I think.
Even the engine is already running, sir.
guys, at least let's encourage them. Come on, guys.
They're encouraging them.
All right, guys. Thank you for coming on yesterday at the World Cup, today on Nigeria Super Fans Forum. Tomorrow we'll be hitting you, our fans around the world, with the preview of Ghana game against Uruguay. It's going to be a thrilling encounter. And there's something in my head about Otoado. And tomorrow I'm going to say that on the show. I know Kalidou and James. It will be interesting to know what they feel about it, but I wouldn't let the cat out of the bag yet until tomorrow when we come with the preview of that game. Guys, once again, thank you for coming on.
All right. Thank you very much, Femi. See you tomorrow.
Thanks,
All right. So our fans around the world, thank you for staying with us. So please watch out for tomorrow. Of course, we'll be coming to you with another yesterday at the World Cup, and also ultimately the preview of that game with the Black Stars and Uruguay. Will be bringing to you exclusive reports from the Ghana camp and how will likely approach that game. So until tomorrow, we'll see you again. Bye for now.